I think it's a natural human impulse to want to mobilize hundreds of soldiers and send them to die on the battlefield in the name of nationalism. It's been a consistent and reoccurring theme throughout history. It's part of the reason so many people apply to join the military, and also the same reason people become teachers. And it's something that I've always longed to do myself. It's one of the reasons I believe Battlefield Middle-earth 2 is the greatest RTS ever made. When you make one archer in that game, you get 10. When you trample them later, you get to watch 10 elves go flying like a joyride on Christmas. But to be honest, most army games just don't cut the mustard. They either play too tactically and require far too much skill, or engagements don't matter that much and they become these slow turtle fests where one player outgrows and consumes the other player like a twin in the womb. And all of this is why I love Advanced Wars. The game plays a lot like Fire Emblem, but instead of anime waifus, you control vast armies. The battles are tactical, but not too tactical. You do need to take in terrain, weapon type advantages, unique national powers, and unique commander powers. But you get this time to breathe and plan. And that feels great. Very low stress. All while you satisfy that need to send hundreds of people to their death. And I know you're thinking that you should probably go out and buy Advance Wars 1+2 for your Nintendo Switch, which is an option. But how much better is the remaster compared to the original? Not really that much. In general, I don't believe this is a thing, but Advance Wars happens to be one game that has aged very well. It's a long-lasting franchise, so there's plenty of entries to choose from. And they started on low-power systems, so they knew from the get-go they needed stylized graphics over flashy anime ones or 3D models. I mean, something about this game just looks clean to me. And the remakes do a good job of carrying over that style, but the old style ain't that bad. And while the remakes do upgrade the style, they don't quite change it enough to appease anyone that wants a more mature game. And if you are one of those people, there are the DS games, which started to add more sinister undertones to the story. Because see, Nintendo realized that sending all these people to die was no fun unless there was some emotional stakes behind it. After all, Machiavelli himself once said that you can tell the greatness of a war not from the blood spilt, but through the tears. But the problem is with these newer Advanced War games is that they're locked in the DS, and the DS isn't exactly a pretty system. They actually could have used a remake, but it's not just the graphics that make the remake questionable. It's the fact that the more modern games actually added a lot more systems and a lot more balancing and a lot of cool stuff to actually do in the game. You had way more units to pick from, unique commanders you can actually deploy to the battlefield, and a story that might be a little typical for JRPGs, but it actually sells you on the idea that you're in a war. In Advanced Wars 1, all of the battles feel like they're ripped from the 1700s, from the era where two generals would meet after the conflict and have a one-on-one game of soggy waffle with each other. So after all this incoherent rambling, which Advance Wars should you play? I would say don't waste your money on the Switch versions. The regular Game Boy Advance versions play fine. And if you do want a more modern Advance Wars with all the upgraded systems, then you should go and play the DS games, because they still play great. They're just showing a little bit of age. And if you want to enjoy the one benefit Advance Wars 1+2 has on the Switch, you can go play multiplayer Advanced Wars online right now for free in a kind of a Words with Friends style function. It's amazing that the community around this game has been able to keep it alive for so long. And for that reason alone, I recommend you check out this series. With the Game Standard here at Tibbs TV, I'm Jonathan Rosenblum.